On October 22, 2020, an innocent Sikh leader was killed in a senseless act of hate in Canada. His name was Ravinder Singh Khalsa and he was a leader in the Sikh faith. He was shot and murdered while feeding pigeons in his local park. This senseless act of violence has left the Sikh community in shock and trying to make sense of it all. Khalsa was known for his compassionate spirit and for his charity work within the community. His death has been met with outrage and sadness amongst the Sikh population in Canada. The Canadian government has moved swiftly to investigate this act of violence and to ensure that justice is served. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has spoken out against the attack and pledged to take action. The attention this attack has drawn highlights the necessity of coming together as a nation to fight against hate and intolerance. Khalsa was a beloved family man who cherished the values of compassion and kindness. The senselessness and brutality of his killing is tragic, and has been met with sadness and anger among Canadians. The Sikh faith is a religion of peace and service, and Ravinder Singh Khalsa embodied these beliefs. He dedicated his life to compassionate service, and now his memory will live on in our hearts. We must never forget the importance of tolerance and acceptance in our society. Acts of hate cannot be tolerated, and we must take a strong stance against those who seek to spread hatred and violence. We must also let his death be a reminder of the importance of leaving no one behind and taking action to protect the most vulnerable in our society. We must remember to honor those who have been taken from us too soon in acts of senseless violence. Ravinder Singh Khalsa will never be forgotten, and his legacy will continue to live on in our hearts. We must take his death as an opportunity to become more tolerant, more understanding, and more accepting of each other. We must use this moment to redouble our efforts to protect those who are in danger and to stand in solidarity with all those affected by violence. We must all work together to ensure that justice is served and that this tragedy will never be forgotten. We must now come together as a nation and come to recognize the importance of unity despite our differences. We must make sure that the legacy of Ravinder Singh Khalsa continues to live on in our hearts and minds. We must strive to create a safer and more tolerant society where individuals of all backgrounds live and work in harmony. We must continue to fight against hatred and intolerance and ensure that justice is served.